Today we're going to review this Anyland Rev01. I've already done a review on the Anyland Rev Pro, and I really enjoyed riding that bike, but one of my biggest complaints is I didn't like the auto wheelie controller. Or it's not that I didn't like it, I just didn't see myself using it too much. But the good news is, if you're like me and don't think you'll use an auto wheelie controller, this is the exact same bike as the Anyland Rev Pro. It just doesn't have the controller to do auto wheelies with, but it does cost about half the price. So I want to say this bike costs maybe $800, $900. And if you do end up wanting to buy one, I do have a discount link in the description. At this point, I've built, ridden, and reviewed a lot of mini Emotos. And for the price, the parts in this bike are probably the best quality I felt. It's got pretty good specs too. It's got a 48 volt battery. It goes a little over 35 miles per hour. But yeah, let's go rip some of these trails, see what we can get into. Super hyped to be out here on a beautiful sunny day. Got a brand new bike. These are the moments that make you realize life is not so bad. This thing's got 3 power modes. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the highest one. Okay, I realized I forgot to tighten down the front brake, but shout out Anyland, they do give you this handy bag of tools. That was a pretty rookie mistake, so let's go ahead and get this front brake tightened up, and then we'll continue on our journey. Let's go see if we can find this other bolt that fell off, but it's going to be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Find the hay in the needle stack!
I'll cruise for a second, yeah. Yeah, I'll follow you guys, take off. I feel like an idiot that I didn't tighten down the front caliper bracket. Like, I'm running with 1 bolt right now. But the good news is with these bikes, I found out all the bolts are super universal. So if you ever do lose a bolt in one of these bikes, there's a good chance you can probably find it at Harbor Freight. Yeah, I used to have a Triple X. I had that for like 2 or 3 years. I love that bike. They're so easy to wheelie. You guys usually ride here? You guys live around here? Yeah. Where at? No, I live like up in Salt Lake. I'll tell you what, seeing that Triple X brought me back, man. I spent so much time on that bike. Nothing but love for the Triple X, man. Good times, good times. And those KLX 230s are pretty sick. I've actually ridden a couple of those. Funny enough, I actually took my MSF course on the KLX 230, or it might have been a 300. I can't remember, but it was a KLX 230 or a 300. And I was already riding for a while by the time I got my license. So I was ripping that thing up out there. I felt bad because other people were like on Honda Rebels and like much heavier bikes, kind of struggling, which I don't think I would have struggled no matter what bike I was on. But you know, the KLX, that's a really easy bike to ride. But anyway, enough reminiscing about the old times. Let's get back on topic. I mean, as you can see, this bike is cheap, it is small, but it can still keep up with bigger bikes. Now, one thing I like about this bike is it does get really good range for the size of battery it has. I did a range test in the Rev Pro, which again is the same exact bike as this, just with the auto wheelie controller. And they claim on the website you get about 50 miles of range. And that's actually pretty accurate. Ripping hard through trails, I got about low 40s, mid 50s. And for reference, my Ultra B that has literally double the size battery, you get about 30 to 35 miles. Now that bike's a lot faster, it's delivering a lot more power to the wheel, but still, for such a small bike, such a small battery, the range on this is surprisingly impressive. I want to get to that trail right there, but I'm not seeing how it connects, so we're just going to do a little bit of off-roading here. Well, I guess we technically already are off-roading, but some off-trail work, I should say. This thing's kind of ripping through the single track. And I got no front brake either, just sliding out everywhere. I cannot believe I forgot to tighten down the front brake caliper. I'm such an idiot. Some people get wiser as they age, but I swear I am getting dumber. I do things every day that impress me about how stupid I really am. All right, so my makeshift 1 bolt front brake caliper situation started running into some issues. Well, this is like the worst Emoto trail review of all time. This is the reality of riding bikes. You guys know how it goes. Sometimes you come out ready to have a day and things do not go to plan. And that's kind of what's happening right now. I mean, we made it probably 2-3 miles on the trail, but we also made it 2-3 miles on the trail. And our car is, yeah, 2-3 miles away. Okay, here's an idea. What if I zip tied this thing up here on the fork and we just go super slow on the road through these neighborhoods back to the car? Again, this is how bikes go, man. I've learned this by now, and if you've been riding for a while, you know what I'm talking about. But the difference now compared to when I was a new rider, I used to get so mad and just give up hope. But now I just know, like, hey, this is part of the game. If you're going to ride bikes, there's things that's going to break, things are going to go wrong. And it's about the mindset you have when things do go wrong. So instead of getting upset right now and being like, oh, my day's ruined, like, oh, I want to ride the trails, we're going to make it back to the car, and then we're going to fix this at home. And we're going to go have a sick ride and do the rest of this review. So yeah, not too thrilled in the situation. Things didn't go according to plan, but hey, it is what it is. Dude, shout out to zip ties. Whoever made these is a legend. Such a versatile tool, man. There's not much a zip tie can't fix. Okay, this is probably the most jank setup I've ever seen, but this little ridge in the fork should hold these up. And I just want to say the issues I'm having right now is no reflection on the actual bike. Again, this is a quality machine. I just forgot to tighten down the front brake. That's 100% on me. So PSA, if you do get this bike, you know, be sure you put the front brakes on. All right, that's a sight for sore eyes. There's some pavement. Not going to pain you guys with this slow cruise back to the car, but I definitely will flip the camera back on once I get there and give you an update on how it goes. So I actually just took the front brake line off the fork guard and then kind of wrapped it up around the handlebars here. The old method was working, but it's getting a little bit too close to rubbing for my liking. Because right now, this is going to be super easy to fix once I get home, but if I rub through the brake line, that's going to create, you know, obviously a whole new set of issues. And you know, all things considered, it's working pretty good. So I think we're going to make it back to the car, but I'll catch y'all then. All right, we're almost back at the car. Dude, this idea worked almost too good. Not too mad at this. The zip tie idea I think would have worked too, but this worked even better. It's actually been a pretty enjoyable cruise home, all things considered. But yep, there's the 4Runner, so we made it back. And next time I see y'all, we will be in the garage trying to get this thing to work again. Oh, the boys are back. So I had to kind of jerry rig it up here, and I just rode it back home, but I'll fix it up when I get back. How'd the ride go for you guys? Yeah, dude, here. How far is your house from here? Yeah, this thing will make it. Let's go check it out. All right, just rolling around with the local kids now. Go check out their bike collection. What's up, man? Dude, this is a sick garage. This is pretty cool, man. How long you say you had this thing for?
This one?
Uh-huh.
Probably a year and a half.
Nice, man. Yeah, I like the Suzukis. Can you wheelie this thing pretty good?
No.
I bet it'll get up there. Okay, the pad shot. I said, don't be dropping back with those brakes. You're going to kill yourself, man. Yeah, I see why now. All right, boys, take it easy. Okay, back in the garage, time to get this thing fixed up. Anyland also sent me a controller to upgrade this bike with, and this new controller pretty much makes it the same as the Rev Pro, so you have auto wheelie functionality. This is my first controller install, and overall it's a pretty cool process. And if you haven't upgraded a controller on your bike before, try it out, it's a good time. But yeah, man, got the new controller hooked up. Anyland has a good video on how to install this. I'll link that below if you do end up buying one. Front brake situation figured out, really just one bolt, took about 2 minutes. And yeah, this thing's ready to ride again, so let's go hit the road. All right, feels good to have this thing all put back together. Again, overall, the controller install, not too hard, pretty doable. But yeah, man, let's go rip around the neighborhood and test this thing out. We'll go ahead and flip the auto wheelies on, see if I remember how to do this. I think it was 12P was how you turned them on. So before I turned the camera on, I was messing around with it, and I'm pretty sure 12P is the mode to select auto wheelies. Now, I will say, if you want to do auto wheelies, but you don't want to upgrade the controller, Anyland does have the Rev Pro, and I already reviewed that bike. I'll put the link for that video down below. And it really is the same bike as this. It just comes with the auto wheelie controller stock. But point being, I remember that having 3 different angles to choose from, but this one has 5. And so I'm just going to put it on 3 and we'll see what that does. Go ahead and put it on the highest power mode. Let's give her a rip, see if she's working. Oh yeah, okay. It's locked out. It also feels a little bit higher than the Rev Pro. This is a different controller, so that makes sense, but this is actually feeling a lot better. Like, this is a much more controllable and I guess you could say accurate balance point. Many Emotos are kind of weird. The balance point's a lot lower than like a full-size bike. Like, you can see the forks aren't parallel, but they almost are. So I don't know if this goes any higher, but yeah, for this bike, this feels about perfect. I like this. Let's see if we got a tight circle wheelie in this real quick. Go ahead and throw this up. Oh yeah, that's feeling good. Okay. Yeah, I like this angle a lot more. This is nice. Dude, that's so cool. I still don't understand how these controllers work. This bike is perfect for ripping around the neighborhood or just like side streets. Now, I will say again, I've ridden the Rev Pro and this bike, and if you're not doing auto wheelies, they feel literally the exact same. But when it's all said and done, by the time you buy the controller and install it, the cost is pretty much equal. So I would say if you know you're going to do auto wheelies or like you want that functionality, probably go ahead and get the Rev Pro. But if you just want to test the bike out and then down the line upgrade if you feel like it, this is a good option because even without the auto wheelies, this bike's still a ton of fun. One thing I like about mini Emotos too is I feel a lot less sketchy riding these. Like, I feel like if I saw law enforcement or anybody that cares about these, they really wouldn't. This bike is very unassuming. Like, it's pretty small, but the thing is, it's big enough where it still holds people, I think, up to 260 pounds. And I'm 5'10", about 170 pounds. And I fit good in this thing. Like, it feels just like a 50cc dirt bike. So if you want a bike, again, just to mess around your neighborhood or kind of use as a pit bike, this is perfect. Like, for the cost, you're really not going to beat it. All right, let's see how long we can do a circle for. I'm just curious if it just goes forever. Dude, this is too easy, but it's still so much fun, actually. I would say my favorite thing to do with auto wheelie controllers is circles, because circles are fun without them, but at the same time, this is cool because you really don't have to think and you're still getting pretty much all the enjoyment of circle wheelies. Okay, the arm pump was real there. That's the only thing bringing that wheel down. And I should mention this too. If you want to do normal wheelies, this is a great bike as well. I think the good thing with the auto wheelie controller, if you've never done any wheelies at all, is you can get the feeling with no risk. And it'll help you probably get over the fear of doing wheelies, or a lot of it at least. And then as long as you know how to use your rear brake, it should be pretty simple for you to go to doing normal wheelies. Man, I'm just hyped this bike's working. Like, putting the controller on, again, was a pretty simple process, but it still feels pretty cool to put the controller on, wire it all up, and then the auto wheelie functionality and everything else work correctly. It's a good sense of accomplishment. Now, I will say, I said this in my Rev Pro review, but the only thing I don't like about this bike is it has a thumb and half twist throttle. Now, I think Anyland is going to come out with the full twist throttle eventually, or that's at least my understanding. But other than that, this bike's super mint. I mean, dude, this bike being like $800-900, like, you're not going to have much more fun than this thing provides. It also fits really easily in the back of like most cars. So if you just want something you can throw in the back of your car and take it wherever, maybe like a camping trip, just be a good bike. The best thing to do with these bikes, you can rip sidewalks, just go around your neighborhood, hit little side streets, where you can do this stuff on a full-size Emoto, but I've just found lately that people get pretty upset about it, or you might get in trouble. But on something like this, you're good to go. You can kind of do whatever you want. But yeah, I'm almost out of battery, so we're going to have to kick it back to the house, but we'll finish up this video in the garage. Okay, back in the garage, so just a quick size comparison. As you can see, obviously a lot smaller than the gas Supermoto, a lot smaller than a Surron Ultra B, also a lot smaller than even like an e-bike. Overall, just remember, if you're going to buy a mini Emoto, these are like 50cc dirt bikes, which is not a bad thing, but these are pretty small bikes. But again, they can hold people up to 260 pounds. I fit on it just fine. And the benefits where you can throw it in the back of your car and ride it wherever you want. Definitely, in my opinion, these have a place in your garage if you do have multiple bikes. Or maybe you are a smaller rider. This is a great option as well. Shout out Anyland. This is a great machine. Seriously, I really don't think you can have more fun for the price. Like, that bike costs 10 times the amount of money. 5 or 6 times the amount of money. Even that e-bike costs like double or triple the amount of money. Off the top of my head, it's really hard to find a bike that's in this price range that you're going to be able to ride in the trail, street, wherever. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this bike. I'm a fan. I like it. I'm going to be riding it around the neighborhood. And again, if you do want to buy one, I got a link in the description. But that's going to do it for this one. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch y'all next video.